Hello, everybody. Welcome to this conference dedicated to the innovation ecosystem in Région Sud. I am Jean-Baptiste Gessler, Managing Director of La French Tech Ex Marseille, the association gathering over 400 startups in the Marseille metropolitan area. So we often talk about ecosystem when referring to startups and to the startups in the particular location. What we would like to evidence today is that we not only talk about ecosystem in Région Sud, but we mean it. There is actually a great coherence in what our region has to offer. And that's why, in order to bring you proof of this coherence, I have asked some of my panel members to be part of this panel today. So we have here Émilie Marcadal, CEO of the startup Rofim, Clément Combal, investor at Orange Venture, Aurore Paulini, Deputy Director of the Startup Accelerator The Box, Camille Klein, International Project Manager at the Regional Development Agency Rising Sud, and Françoise Brunto, who is the President of the Digital Economy Commission at the Regional Assembly. So thank you all for joining us today. I will start with Émilie. Émilie, your company, Rofim, is a fastly growing Marseille-based digital health startup. Could you tell us a bit more about what your company does and what are the next milestones for you in the near future?
Sure, GB. So our company is Rofim. So we are working in the area of telemedicine. We will have 4 years this year. And our goal is to reduce wandering diagnosis by putting together physicians to allow them to exchange big data, also to talk and discuss with their patients, and also to be able to learn from each other. So it's really about diagnosis collaborative. And our next milestone, so we aim this year to go international and also to try to industrialize our process. So today we count a little bit over 10,000 physicians and more than 500 hospitals.
So in the realm of digital health, you have an original position that is B2B, I would like to say, or actually your main clients are physicians and you allow them to exchange data in a secured way. That's the...
Correct. So our business is completely B2B. Obviously, when we talk about teleconsultation, it's coming from B2B to C, but we really put the physician at the heart of the process.
And how many employees do you have at Rofim?
Today we have 17 employees, 16 in Marseille, 1 in Paris.
Okay. So your R&D team is based in Marseille mostly?
Yes, all our tech team is in Marseille.
And is it an asset for your company, or is it a challenge to be based in Marseille, to hire, to raise funds, to develop internationally, because you're born international, your company is born international. So is it a good thing for you? Is it a challenge sometimes also to be not based in Paris or in London or in San Francisco or another global city?
Thanks for the question, GB. So actually, our origin is in Marseille, since our founder, David Bensoussan, is a surgeon from Marseille. So this is also why we have been created in Marseille. And as you know, Marseille and Région Sud is one of the largest and I will say best area in terms of expertise in the health sector. So it really makes sense, actually, when we start the company to be in Marseille. However, today, I'm doing a lot of coming to Paris and coming back, since, as we know in France, a lot of things are still centralized in Paris, especially with Paris Santé Campus and Future for Care, two huge systems that are created in Paris.
Okay, but when you try and hire developers or people specialized in sales, and we know it's difficult to find human resources in these areas, are they convinced by the fact that you're based in Marseille? Do they want to come, or do you have to convince them?
Actually, we have seen the difference before and after COVID, since a lot of persons came to Marseille and discover our area. So in terms of developer, we never had a problem actually because we are like really good engineering school in Marseille. However, for sales, this is still an issue. We are still looking for business partners.
So it's very interesting. So your company is born from the local research, and you hire a lot of people from local engineering school and school that are teaching development also. So you are based in this reality of the territory. You recently raised 5 million euros. Congratulations first.
Thank you.
And one of your investors, one of the main investors, one of the leading investors, is actually next to you, sitting next to you, Clément from Orange Ventures. So Orange Ventures is, of course, a national and international investment body, but you recently chose Marseille and its region, the southeast of France, as a pioneer base to try and develop your investments outside Paris. Why this choice of Marseille? And maybe first, why did you choose to invest in Rofim, to have an example?
So I take the Rofim question. As a matter of fact, we invest in a few sectors. In fact, we've got a very broad investment scope, and we look in particular not only, of course, but to very technological companies that could, generate solutions that will really help people. And Rofim was the first investment we made through our impact vehicle, and we were quite happy, in fact, to find a company with great leadership, but also with a great product that answers to a dramatic question due to the more and more complexity that we have in order to diagnose specific disability. So I think that's the mission of Rofim, and we are really happy to be on board.
So it was both the sector, because you invest a lot in health, and the purpose, because you want to invest more and more in impact startups that drive you to choose Rofim. and of course people.
Yeah. No, but female as well. Female leadership, it's also something that Orange Venture is looking for.
The leadership, and not the fact that you were a woman, but it's very important to try to empower women that has great missions. In fact, that gives themselves great mission. So that was a great encounter. And yes, we are looking. In fact, we've got a part of our investment stream that is dedicated to impact investment, and we invest through 3 verticals. The first one being climate, the second one inclusion, and the third one, the one that we used to look and to invest in Rofim, is CareTech. So that's it. Okay, good. And so that gave you the will to continue to look for startups in the Marseille area. What is your view on the ecosystem? Yeah. As you told in the introduction, we are not a worldwide fund, but we invest in France, of course, in Europe, in Africa and Middle East, in the US too. So we've got a very broad investment scope. But of course, we are, because Orange Venture is the corporate investment arm of the Orange Group. So France is, of course, a very particular geography for us, and we invest, of course, a lot in the Paris ecosystem. But we are not satisfied with that, and we really think because that we can build on the Orange Group assets in order to be more implemented into the local ecosystems. Thanks to the strong links that the Orange Group has with the local ecosystems, and we choose, in fact, Marseille in order to launch our first initiative. In fact, people do not know, but Marseille is a kind of major asset for France. In fact, because thanks to Marseille, France has 2 major internet hubs. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but it's like that, that the ranking, in fact, Marseille was 10 years ago the 44th world internet hub, and now it's the 7th one. And the objective is to reach, in fact, the top 5 in the short term. So, and it's really a booming ecosystem with a great initiative, and it was really natural, in fact, for us to try and learn for our first initiative to implement the fund in a local ecosystem.
And you also have in the stadium, you also have a lab dedicated to 5G that allows company to test in real conditions that solution, especially in the media sector. So that's a great tool as well.
Yeah, of course, it's the Orange Velodrome. So I mean, everything is said, and of course, it's a particular asset for us in order to accompany local startups, because we've got, you know, the possibility, and that Orange Venture is just one tool into the whole offer that Orange has for helping the startup, helping the ecosystem, the technological ecosystem. But the 5G lab that is implemented in the Stade Velodrome has kind of a similar mission as Orange Ventures, meaning that you've got major infrastructures, major companies that are doing, you know, because, for instance, we've got a partnership with Amazon for deploying a new network into the Orange Velodrome. So, and we help the tiny companies, the startups, to in fact to initiate and generate collaboration with major group, Orange first, of course, but with other group also, thanks to the Orange Velodrome, for instance.
So talking about large companies, that's a great transition you offer me. Aurore Poulini, you're the Deputy Director of The Box, that is backed by a lot of big companies, led by CMS EGM, and you actually host ROFIM, that is part of your acceleration program. So can you tell us a bit more about your acceleration program, what you offer startups in Marseille, but also elsewhere, and what can they find in the Box acceleration program?
Thank you, JB, and thank you for having me today to these panels. So The Box is an accelerator for tech startups, but also an innovation center for major companies, as you said. We are focused on supply chain, logistics, mobilities, and industry 4.0 sectors. The Box startup portfolio has a strong focus on cutting-edge technologies such as AI, blockchain, and so on. And our mission today is to bridge the gap between large companies and startups to help them innovate together and forge new paths in the supply chain industry, but also every industry, by working towards a new sustainable world. So to answer to your question, what The Box provides to its clients, first for corporate partner, we provide innovative approaches and also tailor-made solutions to help them maintain their competitive edge. And on the startup side, you need to know that a few months ago, The Box initiated major transformation on its programs, incubation and acceleration. Sorry. And today, startup can benefit from expertise on developing their solution, validate their market, but also tap into the best expertise. Sorry. To tap into the best expertise to forge partnerships in order to become the major leader in the field.
So how many startups are in The Box, and how many have you accompanied so far, and how many are currently in your programs?
Okay, so in 4 years we supported 80 startups, and today we support 40 startups through 3 hubs in the world. So in France, in Caribbean area, and in the US, in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay. And maybe more to come, but that's...
and maybe more to come.
That's a bit of teasing. So you have these international hubs, and you're, since your foundation, aiming at global. Is it a bit same question that I asked to Emily and to Clément? Is it when you're trying to attract startups from all over the world, Is it an asset to be based in this region, in the south of France? Is it a challenge? Do you have company coming from elsewhere for the location as well? Does it take convincing for them to come? Of course, now we have new tools as well to not necessarily relocate a company when you accelerate it, but...
So when you work with the best company in the world, such as CMS Gem, it's quite a bit easy to attract startups. But honestly, all the startups are not relocate in Marseille because we can support startup in a remote way, of course. And to answer to your question about Marseille, Marseille is becoming more and more dynamic today. We have, of course, amazing quality of life. But beyond the sea, the sun, and the cicadas, we also are a major urban logistic and hills, like Emily said. So it's a great opportunity today for entrepreneurs to come in Marseille.
So you do connect as well because you're part of your accelerator is located in a building where there is also other accelerators and university. So you also connect as Rofim, as Orange. You also connect with local players. And so how is it to? How do you feel the startup scene in Marseille and all of these ecosystem running around? So researchers, financiers, maybe big companies. Do you feel more coherence in the south of France than elsewhere, maybe?
For sure, we have great success story in Marseille. For example, C-Roots has built a strong partnership with AMU, ex-Marseille University, and they are working with researchers on AI to develop and improve the algorithm. We also, in the box, have a PhD in entrepreneurship topics. And the fact that in Marseille we have more and more investment from all around the country, but all around the world, it's more easier to support startups.
Okay. Clément, maybe coming back to you, do you have particular sectors that I mean, we understood that you had your lines of investment, but what sectors do you find more developed in Marseille, but also in Nice, Sophia Antipolis, Cannes? Maybe what is the particularity of this ecosystem, and what do you feel is strong in this region?
There is, of course, very strong sectors. I mean, e-health, of course, Marseille, you're right, is a real hub for e-health. I think that not only in Marseille, but in the South region, Région Sud, there is a lot of clean tech companies and people that are trying to solve major issues regarding climate change and all that stuff. But then, you know, you've got all the other competencies, and you can find great companies in IT and networks, in B2B software for enterprise, in cybersecurity. You've got the full range of companies. But if I had to highlight two, is e-health and maybe green tech.
Thank you. So we are going at the regional scale. It's a great transition once again. Thank you, Clément. And
you're welcome.
And so we are here two guests. So we will start with Camille Klein, that is working international project manager for the Regional Development Agency. So your work is actually to attract foreign companies to come and develop their activity in the region. What kind of services do you offer to these companies, and what we would like to tell them, because we are registering this panel in English to have a global reach, of course. So what is your message to the world?
Thank you
Basically.
very much. To begin, thanks to a strategic position, the south of France. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Région Sud is an entry door to the European, African, and Middle East markets. Moreover, it benefits from quality infrastructures like the Marseille port, the first port in France, and another example is the airport of Nice, the second airport in France in terms of passengers. So you need to understand that our ecosystem is structured around clusters, competitiveness clusters, which regroup all sectors of the territory, so the research centers, the universities, the startups, large groups, etc., and allowing the region Sud to shine in today's tech region ecosystem. Sorry. And the most relevant example is Sophia Antipolis, the first technological park in Europe. So what can we do for startups which want to come in the south of France? So today I represent Rising Sud, the economic development agency for the south of France, for the region Sud, Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur. And with our local partners, we are a facilitator for companies. So we will give you some information about the ecosystem, the company who works in our territory. But we also get in contact with this ecosystem to find synergies between the companies, the projects of the companies, and our ecosystem. We can help the companies to find an office, also to recruit their employees, and finally to find some financial funds, public funds. But our objectives are not just to settle the company in the south of France. It's also to continue the relation with this company and to develop themselves in the territory. So we have some export programs, for example, to help in the internationalization of our regional companies. So that's what we do.
So we can contact you,
yeah,
foreign companies can contact you directly, the Rising Sud, the Regional Development Agency, to have more information on the opportunities and of course have some help in discovering these opportunities and maybe coming to the region to start a new activity.
So don't hesitate to contact me to have more information.
Great, thank you. We also wanted to show that we have political support for this action, and it's very important for us to have local representatives supporting this innovation ecosystem that is booming. So Françoise Brunto, you're the president of the Digital Economy Commission at the Regional Assembly, and I would like to ask you, of course, what is the region doing to support this ecosystem, but also what is your view on this ecosystem? You know innovation ecosystems in France, but also elsewhere. So how do you see it, and what do you do to support it and to help it grow faster?
I'm very honored to represent Renaud Meselier, the president of South Region, Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, there about competitiveness and attractiveness our territories. First of all, I come from Cannes, and I will quote: "We are a global village, worldwide known for our attractivity." Global village, it's first village with a very nice quality of life. That's right, and it's well known in all the world. But before the sun, the sea, the quality of life, we have a lot of assets to attract companies of the world. First, we are the first place for B2B meetup in Cannes, Palais des Festivals. We welcome all over the world companies on all the subjects. We are the first tourism in France place, and we have a lot of well-known cities as Marseille, Toulon, Nice, with a lot of assets in training and resources, human resources. Because a company which come from Israel, from India, from USA, they come in South Region First of all, for our quality of research, training, and human hiring. It's very important. It's the first region where you can find engineers of very high quality with fiability, and when they settle in our territory, they have a lot of opening with Rising Sud, with our different proposal of finance, of accompaniment, of B2B meetup, of meeting place. So for them, it's a real global offer. It's very important. And after the COVID, the things are really different, because we saw a lot of major companies, foreign companies, hire some engineers in Marseille, in Cannes, in Nice, in Sofia Antipolis, and say them, you can stay on the south region and work for us. But our policy is to keep our human resource and to develop our economic, local economy, and become major of our region. It's very important. So we work with all the group, the major group, the main group, which are settled in our region, to develop the small company, the startups, and to work all over together, and to go abroad together with Rising Sud, with the economic chamber, with all the partners, and to work real linked, and to be more proactive in commercial development abroad. It's very important. And we have also developed 3IA, donc Artificial Intelligence Institute in Sofia Antipolis, which is very important, and the Intelligence World Congress in Cannes, the Sofia Summit for the churches, the researchers, and a lot of strategy about environmental subject. And today, the young engineers are very focused on the COP, the green tech, how to save the planet is very important. And it is a real strategy for Renaud Muselier to go further with the green tech, to explain that the South will be as the aims of neutral carbon, and it's, I think, the major asset for our territories.
Thank you, Françoise. Thank you all for taking part in this panel. I think we've shown that there is a great coherence in the innovation ecosystem, that you can find both excellence and impacts as well, that you can find a lot of great partners to help you develop your companies, be it in health, in green techs, in, of course, logistics, but also in all of the sectors. You can find financing, you can find support, you can find expertise, and you also have local authorities that are here to help you. Do you want to say another concluding words?
Yes. Today we are the third region of innovation in France. Tomorrow we will be the first.
I think it's a great conclusion.
Yeah.
Thank you all.